Now, if you do a lot of bottom bouncers fishing, one thing to check out is these new low profile reels with the line counter built in. And now if I'm going up and down structure and I'm holding onto the rod, I'm trying to feel transitions, a lot of times I'll use a bait casting reel with a flipping switch. On the other hand, if I'm running bottom bouncers and rod holders and I'm just staying in one general depth, a line counter reel can work really, really well when you're running bottom bouncers. This here's a new low profile reel from SCHEELS, low profile Akuma reel. That line counter, it really works good if you're guiding, if you're taking kids out, or maybe people that don't fish very often. You can tell them exactly how many feet of line to let out, so that way they're in the fish zone. What we're doing here today, we're running in 10 feet of water. I've got the front rods, I'm letting out about 22 feet. I'm letting out the back rods at 30 feet, so that way I don't get tangled up. On the rod itself, I like to use a really stiff graphite rod a lot of times when I'm pulling bottom bones, especially over rock and structure. This here's that 7-foot 1-inch medium action, fast action rod in the Jason Mitchell Elite Series lineup. Very sensitive rod. But the beauty of this graphite and that stiff action is when you're following a contour and you're going over rock and you're going over trees, that bottom bouncer will get bogged down in snags all the time. You'll just see that rod just going through the snags, and that bottom bouncer will load up as it hits rock. A stiff rod is going to pop that bottom bouncer out of the snag and keep that spinner or harness up off the bottom. And so if you use a soft rod in this type of fishing, you're just going to get snagged up all the time. That rod is just going to load up and it's going to load up right into the snag. And so use a stiff, fast action rod. That way that rod tip will help you by keeping that presentation out of the snags. And when a fish hits it, it's just going to load up. And so that's the other thing, especially if you have a chance to catch big fish. You know, you get a 26, 28-inch walleye and they hit this, it just bends over in pounds. But even an 18-inch walleye is just going to double that rod back. When you're going a mile an hour, there's no doubt in your mind when you have a bite.